For your health this afternoon, there's an ongoing nationwide shortage of amoxicillin, and some pharmacies are having trouble keeping their shelves stocked.
Joining us now to talk more about this and the cause of the shortage is Dr. Shamim Islam, a clinical associate professor of pediatrics in the Jacobs School of Medicine at UB. Dr. Shamim, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Can you just first describe to us what you have seen personally with this shortage? You know, writing a script and maybe the pharmacy can't seem to fill it.
Sure. Thanks for having me. So to mention, unfortunately, I think here in the Buffalo area and Western New York, we have not felt this as much. The shortage has mainly been with a liquid formulation of amoxicillin that kids mainly take. And speaking to community colleagues, fortunately at this time and even throughout the national shortage, we have not seen it. Throughout the country, though, again, it has been an issue, which my best understanding is generally improving.
Now, when we're talking about that particular medication in the amoxicillin in the liquid form that is typically prescribed to children, you're talking mostly about the thing that a lot of parents are pretty familiar with, and that's that pink kind of thicker liquid that seems to be sort of the cure-all. And this leads me to my question. I'm curious what you think is the result or the reason for this shortage, and is part of that reason, or does it have to do with doctors overprescribing amoxicillin for everything?
So you've identified the right syrup there, the pink one. I'd have to say, though, I am concerned about the antibiotic amoxicillin, others being used more than they are needed. In this current situation, it's not entirely clear. One of the theories is many of the companies will match the amount of antibiotic they make each year based on previous year's needs. The last couple of years, we've seen less bacterial infections due to COVID, and they may have produced less. And this is probably a more likely explanation for the shortages right now. But you do highlight an important issue of overuse of antibiotics, which includes common ones that kids get, like amoxicillin.
That's interesting. So you said that you believe it's actually improving. Can you explain why it might be improving, and if it could kind of hit this area, Western New York, because it's not exactly a huge problem here yet?
I think the improvement, again, I don't think there's been that much fluctuation in the availability in Western New York as much as other places. And I think it's a drug that I best understand is not difficult to manufacture. So as companies realized there wasn't enough availability, this is mainly in the latter parts of last year and maybe January, they were able to produce more.
So that's good. Hopefully they can ramp up their production to meet the growing need out there. Here we are emerging as a community, as a society, into springtime. The flu season officially is in its waning stages at this point. So are companies going to need to continue to ramp up their production for this season, or perhaps are they going to be now better prepared for next season?
I think that's a really hard one to answer. As you might know, the patterns of infections have really changed quite a bit in an unpredictable way after COVID. I would think that the current supply and what you would anticipate for the needs should be sufficient in the upcoming months. And based on this year, I would think that the companies, and there are several that make amoxicillin, would be making more in anticipation of, again, the fall, early winter through spring of next year.
All right, Dr. Shamim Islam, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me again.